You know, this is something that should be happening with Father's Day coming up for this poor guy who probably made the wrong decision in asking his daughter to do something. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. They're camping. They got a fish, and the dad looked at the teenage daughter and said, "Hey, gut it, clean it, cook it." She's like, "I ain't gutting that thing out. I ain't cleaning that thing up. I don't do that kind of stuff." And so now he's got flack from both his teenage daughter and his wife.
Yeah, and some people on the internet.
And here's the whole thing. He's like, okay, I'm trying to teach her life skills, cooking, doing some cleaning, maybe some car maintenance. How do you change the oil, that stuff? But she drew the line at gutting fish. And that was it. Makes me think about the life skills that I'm trying to teach my kids.
Oh, right. So, okay, I got to ask then, Rob, what do you teach your kids? What are some of those? Yes, you do. Do you teach them, I don't know, how to change the oil in the car?
No.
You haven't?
No.
That surprises me. That is something that my husband has done with the kids.
There's one thing I know how to do well.
Okay, what's that?
That's push buttons to put music on the air, and that's about it.
But your kids kind of know those things, right, Rob?
I don't teach them. They just watch Dad do it. That's about it.
You are teaching by example. I don't think you literally have to take them and take their finger and put it on the board or whatever. So
here's the thing, okay? I'll just get blunt honest with you, all right? Because you're asking me direct questions.
Yes, I am.
Here's my direct answer. I had no dad. I had no example. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I don't know how to teach my kids how to hammer a nail into the wall or how to change oil, how to change a tire. I don't know how to do that.
But I think you do without necessarily knowing how to do it. You're showing by example. And I think that, to me, that's the best.
I haven't shown them anything.
Yes,
I don't
you
even know how to
have.
make a fire. And my middle son knows how to make a fire.
Well, he learned because, you know what? He was inspired by you.
Not to do it like
things.
Dad.
No, to
That's
learn
what that
things.
is.
Look, I learned my love of Jesus by my daddy because there were things that he did wrong. Like we all do as parents from time to time. We make poor decisions, right, from time to time. But without him showing me by example how to love God, I wouldn't know how to do that. I would have had to have found some other way,
Well, Scott had a great dad because he learned how to do things from his dad.
Yeah.
What was it, finances?
Yeah, he taught me to be, just be wise with money, and I've tried to do that with my kids, saving early. Like he encouraged me to start saving for, retirement back in my 20s, when I first started working, and just doing some things focused on finances.
You started saving for your retirement, Scott, back in your 20s?
I did, a little bit. And I wasn't putting like gobs of money in, but just a little bit, every now and then.
I know who I'm hanging with in my retirement years.
Exactly. We go into the home together.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I love parents that teach their life skills to their kids, It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. I know Liz learned a lot from her parents.
I did from my dad. Like, he had me crawling up under the house at a young age. I remember being like 8 or 9 years old. For the life of me, I honestly cannot remember what I was looking for, what he had me looking for. Maybe a leak or something like that. But I know that I found plenty of bugs and mouse droppings. So that was always nice.
See, it's good to know and have that kind of life skill in life. Scott, teaches his son to, is it collect coins? What is it?
Well, my dad always instilled in me, good finances and being a good steward and things like that. But for my kids, I've tried to do that as well, kind of let them know, hey, things cost money. Is this a good buy? Just understand, how finances work and things like that to prepare them, as they get older.
Yeah, all I do is just say, don't be on the Xbox all day, kid.
Hey, that's a life skill too.
I don't know about that. In retrospect, I wish I would have invested in teaching my kids more of those kind of things.
I feel
like how to change the oil and fix a tire and all that other stuff. I didn't do any of that.
Well, it sounds like you daddy birded them, which is fine too.
Daddy hooed them?
You daddy birded them. So you kind of, say, here, I've set you up for success, but now it's kind of up to you to figure it out. I think that is fine too. I've done that with my kids to a good degree.
I guess I'm very successful in that. Figure it out your own, kid.
But I think that's
Here's YouTube. Here's phone. Here's YouTube. Figure it out.
Absolutely.
So Mary's here at 800-447-7234.
I was 15 and got our learner's permit, driver's permit. Our mom taught us how to check the fluids in the car, change a flat tire, jump the car off if the battery was dead, just basic things to know before she would allow us to go get our actual driver's license. We had to learn some of the basics.
And I love that your mom showed you how to do all this.
She didn't want us to be stranded on the side of the road at someone else's mercy, not knowing how to take care of her.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
All of a sudden, people started celebrating their dad today. We're like, not even Sunday yet. And it's happening. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. I know Liz has learned so much from her daddy.
Oh, yeah. My daddy, I miss him so much, but there are times when something goes wrong with the car or, just something, and I pick up the phone and I want to call him, and he's not there physically, but
Yeah.
I know everything he left me.
Oh. Stefania's here. What about you, Stefania? You wanted to celebrate your dad. I know you're getting mocha at the drive-thru, but what are you doing?
My daddy taught me that you can never outgive God,
Aw.
that if he lays it on your heart to do it. And, of course, he taught me that the most important thing in life is having that relationship with Jesus Christ.
You miss him very much.
Well, yes, but I know where he is, and I'm going to see him again one day.
That's the hope we have.
Oh, yes. And I
Lovely.
love listening to his radio.
Oh, thank you so much. And you enjoy that mocha you got this morning.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Step in with us, would you, to Ninja's Kitchen. She got like a flour dough thingy that you make sour stuff with? I forgot. I'm sorry. Some kind of bread
Sourdough.
maker.
Sourdough.
So you got a sourdough bread maker.
No, sourdough starter. So it's like a living organism that you have to feed, and then you make bread out of it.
Okay, now I'm scared because I'm totally lost. So it's not a bread maker.
No, she is the bread maker. Ninja is the bread maker. She
So
makes-
anyway, we stepped into Ninja's kitchen, and Ninja, what did you make today?
Today, I have made Pop-Tarts.
homemade Pop-Tarts.
Oh, nice.
She has 2 flavors, too.
Okay, what are they?
Oh, that's me. So cinnamon brown sugar
Okay.
and strawberry.
So which is which? I'll show you my plate.
You know what? Rob is colorblind, and I was about to say the red one is strawberry.
This one is the strawberry one.
Okay. The one on my left.
So you're going to start with strawberry. I will start with brown sugar. Oh, you're
Okay.
starting with brown sugar.
No, I'll start with strawberry.
Yeah, start with strawberry.
Okay, I'll start with strawberry. Okay, and here's the brown sugar one.
So you just started with brown sugar.
Yeah.
The brown sugar one has like a little crispy edge that I am so into right now.
There's a crispy edge to it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so into it.
Oh,
Yeah, are you
good.
doing the strawberry one?
No, I took another bite of the brown sugar.
Okay, do the strawberry
That
one.
is so good, Ninja. Okay.
It is so good.
Hold on. Wow.
Okay, here's the strawberry
okay, hold
one.
on. Okay.
Yeah, I got one too.
So immediately on the tongue, you get that tartness.
There's a tartness on my tongue.
And then right behind it is very sweet. And so they balance each other out.
So behind it is kind of sweet. There's like a balance in my mouth to the tartness of the,
These are so good.
I will say, amazing.
These are so good, Ninja.
Where have you been all our lives?
Right? They aren't too pretty, but they taste good.
You know
They
what?
taste great.
It doesn't matter. And Post better run because you coming after the Pop-Tart industry.
Yeah, it's the Ninja Tarts.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
I like that.
I'll put it in the toaster and all that stuff.
Right.
That's good. So there you go. A little bit of Ninja's Kitchen this morning.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I love it. That right song at the right time. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. Hey, thank you for keeping his radio a part of your life, your family, and keeping his radio financially strong during the summer months. We just wanted to pause and say thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it may be the neighbor next door. It may be the person in the car right next to you or the person in the office in the cubicle that needed to hear that right song at the right time. And because of your gifts that you've kept up faithfully during this entire, spring and summer so far this year, you have made that possible. You made that song possible for that person to hear and get that encouragement or the words that they needed at their darkest day.
As a matter of fact, we just got this message in of somebody's life that's been touched. Well, that was going to sound spectacular if the equipment worked.
They got a little shy.
I'm telling you. So all that, if you ever wondered, is it live? Yes, it is. So all that to say thank you for your help, your generosity, your support. It might fix this thing. So,
Please help.
I'm telling you, tough summer months financially, you're keeping his radio strong. And we wanted to say thanks.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
This is kind of cool. You can kind of get your name out there in space. This is going to be so much fun.
And what?
Space.
Space.
Yeah, I was trying to be like really movie-esque. Okay, so here's what's happening.
I felt the movies there.
Did you?
Yeah.
There's going to be a spacecraft that is on its way to Jupiter, and for some reason they're putting a poem on this spacecraft. And if you want to, you can go online and you can sign your name to the poem almost like you've helped to write it, which is super weird. But it is such a long poem. It is so in-depth. One part is, it's not darkness that unites us, not the cold distance of space, but the offering of water, each drop of rain. And it goes on and on and on and on. But you can get your name out there in space, just in case.
I don't know if you saw the moon this morning, but Jupiter's right by it.
Yes, it is gorgeous. Little sliver of a moon. And then up to the right is Jupiter.
And that's where your signed poem is going.
It is going. So you can look at it right now and say, I'm coming to see you, Jupiter.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This is it. Texting the word summer right now. Don't delay. Text the word summer to his radio. The number is 800-447-7234. The word summer, 800-447-7234. I don't know if you're on vacation at the moment. You're getting ready to hit Dodge and get out of here. But the best summer ever trip that you could win goes to Universal in Orlando.
Universal. So it's tickets for your family. You get to stay overnight a couple of nights. We're going to give you the gas money. You're going to get some money for eating because, you got to have the road trip snacks and all that good stuff. So it's all together. And there's a travel agent, which is my favorite part of the whole thing because she is going to plan it for you when you want to go and who you're going to take.
Takes the stress out of everything that has to do with travel, right? Setting it all up. So if you text the word summer right now to 800-447-7234, the word summer, 800-447-7234, we'll send you the link. You fill it out. You'll get registered to win that trip to Orlando and get ready for the best summer ever. And thank you, Southern Wesleyan University, for making that trip happen.
Yeah, because it's going to be so much fun. Maybe the best summer trip you've ever taken. It's the best summer ever.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
John had the task of cleaning out his father-in-law's place and then found bags from banks in there. It's Rob and Liz in the morning. His radio. Turned out these sealed bags were full of untouched pennies. There's so many of them, 1 million of them.
1 million pennies, and they're copper pennies. Yeah, pennies aren't made from copper anymore, and so these are kind of rare.
They're over 40 years old because they switched from copper to zinc back in the early 80s, in the 1980s, and so these are really old pennies that this guy had been saving up. Turns out there's 1 million pennies. That's $10,000, and there are collectors that have contacted him. So what he's done is he's put it up on a site and is asking $25,000 for these pennies.
Well, there was a conversation at first, and I'm sure as they were cleaning out, they were like, oh my goodness, there's more pennies. And what's that bag? Oh, it's more pennies. And they thought, well, let's go to Coinstar and turn these in. That's you'd spend a lot of time there, but I think Coinstar, if I'm not mistaken, charges like 8% off the top.
I don't even know what that place is.
You don't know what Coinstar is?
No.
Okay, so you go to a grocery... Rob does not do a lot of grocery shopping.
No.
Okay, so Coinstar is set up at Walmart, grocery stores, things like this in the front. And if you have coins in your car, or I keep them in the laundry room, you just dump them in and it spits out your money in dollars or a gift card. But it takes 8% off the top.
Okay.
So you don't get all your money.
So it's not your money anymore.
Not that 8%. It's kind of
Yeah,
like an interest
it goes
charge.
away
Or-
because it's
yeah.
doing work for you or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's counting.
I
it.
get that, but they didn't do that. Instead, they heard from some collectors, and the collectors are like, "We want to buy this." So he's hoping to get $25,000 out of the 1 million pennies.
I think he's probably going to end up with more.
He could.
Coin collectors, I mean, they're adamant about those coins. I think he'll get a lot more.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Cell phones. That's what's next at some of these concerts. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning. This is his radio. So now there are cell phone free zones that are requested by artists at some of these events. I haven't run into one yet.
No,
at
me
least
either.
not with our Christian music concerts that are going on. But there are some other artists that are insisting no cell phones in here. So there is a product that you'll see that's showing up at some of these concerts, and it's a little slip bag that you have. It's called Yonder. And when you come through the door, after you scan your ticket on your phone, if you have the QR code on your phone, then they give you this, you slip it in there, and then they lock it. So your phone is with you the whole time, because if you have babysitter or something, or somebody needs to call you, you can feel it buzz in your pocket.
But how do you get into it to check?
You've got to
who it
go
is?
back out
Oh, you got
and
to
go
be
into
kidding
a
me.
cell phone area where you can literally unlock it and then use your cell phone and then put it back in the bag, lock it back up, and then go back into the concert or event.
I'm seeing all kinds of issues because if I have, I have some like news organizations and different things that send me notifications, right? Oh, it's going to be 100% chance of rain today. It'll send that notification.
In the concert, you would already know that.
But I'm saying if it buzzes and it vibrates, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's the babysitter or there's something wrong with the kids. And then I'm going out and it's like, cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Oh, great, thanks.
I see.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
I don't know if you heard the word just yet, but there's going to be some change to the Wheel of Fortune coming up next year. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. Pat Sajak's been doing it forever. 41st season is next year, and that's when he says, when that's done, I am done.
I've been wondering, like, how long he was going to try to host this show. It's got to be grueling. I mean, it seems to be a really long season, 5 nights a week, if not more. Maybe there's a 6th.
They record them in bulk.
Ooh, right, but it's just like, oh my goodness, it's got to be a lot to do.
When they're working, it sounds like a lot,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of off time.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But been doing it for so long.
They've got it down so much.
Yeah.
So the big question mark is, okay, will it continue? Yeah, just like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune will continue, but they're wondering who the next host is, and some people are thinking, this is not confirmed, but some people are thinking Ryan Seacrest.
Well, it makes sense. So Ryan Seacrest seems to be a guy that likes to do a lot of things at one time. He's done American Idol while he did Kelly and Ryan and, done his show. But at the same time, so he left the Kelly show, and so he's got some extra time on his hands. Why not throw another TV show out?
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid this beach at all costs. All costs. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Thankfully, it's not anywhere near here. It's in North Wales, but they're just out, families, trying to enjoy a day at the beach, putting on the suntan lotion, and all of a sudden, ouch, ouch, ouch. There is a swarm of flies that descends on this one beach. It's not the first time it happened. It happened years and decades ago, like in the 50s. So that was the last time that it happened quite like this. But people had to basically evacuate.
It looks like there's thousands on this one beach because somebody whipped out their phone and just started going in a circle showing everybody batting away these flies and leaving.
Yeah.
Because there's no way anybody's hanging around with a swarm of flies. Somebody said it was like biblical proportion.
Oh,
It's like
right.
the plague was coming down on them in North Wales.
Exactly. So they think maybe it was sand flies, but other people that were there, and sand flies are going to be a lot smaller, but somebody else said it was blue bottle flies, which are a good bit bigger. I don't know the difference between flies.
One lives in bottles.
I guess a blue one.
Mhm.